So I'm like working out by the water
Wow.
and the drone is following me and
So
it's
beautiful.
beautiful. And I send it to them and they're like, Erin, we just want you to squat in front of the camera. And I was like, this is beautiful. Like, this is so lit. And they're like, no, like people won't relate to that.
It's true.
People won't relate. They won't want to buy stuff from it. Yeah, so now I'm starting to go in front of the camera and I post my first picture of like, I lost weight. And I'm just there like in the mirror, my super dirty brim. And I'm like, here's me.
Yeah.
And then all the people were
Instagram
following me.
lights up and they're like, wow.
Wow. Bacon girl is
hot.
now losing weight. Yeah. So then that's when I gained even more followers, you know? So all the bacon people are now kind of, they're still there because they're like, wow. But now I'm getting all the people that are like, weight loss inspiration and
fitness.
Yeah. And now I'm attracting more of those people. And so I had a personal trainer. So a personal trainer came to see me and he was like, what are you doing? You know, you need my help.
You're crazy, bitch.
You crazy. Yeah. Like literally, what are you doing? Like there's so many times that he stopped me and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just trying something new. Like I try to make up my own workouts that I thought were logical to help me lose more weight. Like I would lift a weight and then try and like run at the same time, you know?
You're so hilarious.
People would go,
I love how creative you are that person though. For sure you're that person.
Oh yeah. It went so hard that I ended up hurting myself. But you know, at least the creativity was there. And so this trainer came and he saw me and he's like, you need me. And I was like, yes, I do. Okay. Like, you know, I'm going to admit it. And then there comes that point too that you kind of drop your ego and you're like, I do need help, you know? So I accepted his help and he was a very interesting trainer. He was my first one, right? And then I'm talking to him about food and I'm already very clearly going through food struggles, right? Because I just went from, you know, all my unhealthy eating patterns of eating too much to now eating not enough. And I guess he didn't know that, but I asked him, my main question was like, can I eat muffins? Like that was the first thing. I was like, I fucking love muffins. And I started making my own healthy muffins. I went to Liquid Nutrition for the first time. My sister was vegan and she brought me and she was like my inspiration. I was like, wow, she's so healthy and fit. And I got to Liquid Nutrition, older sister. Yeah. And I got there and there was desserts and I was like, are these healthy? And she was like, yeah. I was mind blown. Wow. Mind blown. I love desserts. Love desserts. And I was like, what's in them? And she was like, bananas and dark chocolate and oatmeal. And I was just like, whoa, what a life. Like, what a life that I've not been into for way too long. So I got super, super passionate about that. I dove deep. I went home. I did so much research on healthy baking and that became my thing.
So now all of a sudden you're a foodie.
So now all of a sudden I'm eating desserts that feel good and I'm starting to find joy, right? So I'm at this place where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to find balance. I'm making cottage cheese pancakes, but at least I'm trying to do something different. And then I get this trainer and I ask him about my muffins and I'm like, oh, I'm making muffins and, you know, I'm really inspired by it. But when during the day should I eat it or like once or twice a week? You know, I need a structure for it. And he looks at me and he's like, never.
No muffins.
No muffins? What? No muffins. My life is ruined. And I'm like, but it's a banana muffin. And he was like, how many bananas are you eating? And I was like, probably like 2 a day. You know, I have like my banana smoothie in the morning and then banana muffin at night. And he was like, that's way too much. Like you need to cut it to half a banana. And I'm just like mind blown, right? I finally started to find stability. And here is this trainer telling me that like, basically like, no, like
you're fucking
all my fitness will be gone if I eat 2 bananas a day. So I follow this regime, this restriction. And I go into this state of not eating bananas and being really sad. And then I crash, obviously, and I run to the Depinar, the Dep. Do you have any followers in the US?
I have followers everywhere.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what the Dep is, because
it's a corner store, the bodega.
Yeah, bodega. So I go to bodega and I buy cookies. I buy immediate release to be, not release, immediate
satisfaction.
Yeah.
The crack of food.
Gratification.
Yeah. Sugar.
Station. Sugar. Yeah.
Give me sugar now.
Give me sugar now. And
light
now
my
there's
brain up like cocaine now. Now.
Need it. Now. Need my muffins. But now I have no muffins because the trainer told me I wasn't allowed to. So I go.
So every once in a while, you start cheating, essentially.
So now I binge. Now I'm binging. And I'm like, if I just had the fucking muffin 2 days ago when I actually wanted it, I would have ate it in a healthy way. So then that's when the little light clicked. And I was like, wait, if I were to
had my fucking muffins.
One muffin that I like. So I stopped seeing that trainer, obviously. And I was kind of like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to do my own thing. And that's the first time that I experimented with my own health. And before it was all bodybuilding. Like, I'm just doing what people are telling me and I'm, reading these things online. And now I finally gained a little bit more inspiration to do what feels right to me. And it was desserts. It was desserts. And I was like, I'm so
that.
passionate.
That's such a fucking hilarious. I love how you went from bacon to cottage cheese to muffins to desserts.
Yeah.
In this, I like that there's like in your timeline, there's like a food
Oh yeah.
progression. Yeah.
Food is life.
Yeah.
I still eat muffins. Plot twist. I am a muffin. I am a muffin within.
Now she's gonna pull out a muffin
muffin mask.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Muffin mask. It's muffin time.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not.
I do have dark chocolate in my bag.
It's true. She brought dark chocolate. You came prepared. I will say.
So now I'm at now the stability of being able to have chocolate, but it all came from going through those times of restricting myself and then gaining the experience myself of knowing that it's not about the restrictions. It's about how much love you can put in a dessert, basically. And so I started putting the desserts online. I started making desserts. Got really passionate about it. I started making banana.
And online means Instagram specifically.
Instagram,
the IG.
Instagram. I started posting. There was black bean brownies, avocado stuff, and I started posting them. And then I gained even more followers. Hashtags. So then that's when the followers started to grow. I don't even like calling them followers. I like calling them like supporters, friends.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah, friends. Yeah. So that's when the friends started to grow. And I got approached by a company. I'm not going to name their name, but I got approached by a company and they're like, hey, like we have protein powder.
Ooh.
And we would love it if you put it in your desserts because we are noticing from the hashtags that you're putting and your stuff is really out there and people really like it. Mm-hmm. So how about
first sponsored influencer deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, I'm famous. This is it. My big break. I'm going to make muffins for a living and I'm going to get paid for it. So I'm like, how am I going to add protein powder into this? So now I'm starting to make desserts and I have to put the little stupid fucking bag in the corner, right? And it has to say the brand. So muffins, usually I'd get deep, I'm like, oh yeah, I see the chocolate chips. And now you have to see the bag. You have to see the bag with the brand. And now I'm
How much were they paying you for this?
So they were basically give me free protein powder and I would get the commission.
Yeah, they were fucking you.
Yeah. And so at that point, I was probably, let's say 5K. I was at 5,000 followers. And they were also giving me advice on how to grow. So they were like this community. And and then you get into the group with all the girls, with all the Insta famous girls that are at like 100,000.
We're gonna like share each other's content. You'll like my thing in a DM group and and then it started to grow.
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna comment on your thing and you comment on mine, but I'm not gonna comment on yours if you don't comment on mine. And what you comment, how many emojis you put, I'm gonna put the exact same amount.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
You nailed that one. I love how you just like
yeah.
You gave that's real talk right there.
Yeah.
That was a real thing.
Oh yeah.
That was like a period of time on Instagram where bot follower follow and follow things.
Yes.
All those things were a thing.
Like for like, follow for follow.
Like for like, follow
like
for follow,
for
but
like.
also DM engagement groups. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's we're dating this a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is coming into the point where, okay, well, the only way I can grow is if I have other people. So you kind of start this little community. You start this little engagement group and then you start to share, but then you also start to compare. So then you see these girls with 100,000 followers and they're all bootylicious, and they're just squatting in front of the camera. And
You're like,
so,
fuck,
yeah.
I have to do this.
No, yeah, great. I don't want to do that. I want to share my muffins. Just want to be in a big costume and dance.
I just wanted to post my muffins, not to show my ass.
And they're sending me activewear and they're telling me what to do in it. So so they launched an activewear brand too. So now they send me the activewear and they're like, okay, Erin, like obviously like you worked out, you have a nice body. Now you're going to promote our activewear. And I'm like, great, I'm going to get free clothes. This is lit. Like this is all I've ever dreamed of, right? I love clothes. And there was a guideline. Okay, so I got the activewear and then the guideline was like, okay, make sure you set up your camera low enough so that they can see your ass, basically. Like, make sure the camera is set low. Basically, yeah. Make sure that it's angled so that, like, it's a flattering position on the side. Like, basically to make sure people see your ass and that you're squatting in front of the camera. That's all that matters,
Wow.
Yeah, and then I got the activewear and I made a video. We can go back and find it at some point, but it's so cringy. I'm just like on a couch with my shoes. And some people commented like, this girl's wearing her tennis shoes inside of her house. Like, how dare she? And I got so much like, yeah, oh my God.
That was a Canadian commenting.
Oh my God. Tabarnak.
No, but it's only because Canadians actually take off their shoes in the house, whereas Americans will wear shoes inside the house.
Really?
It's a thing. Yeah, Americans are more likely to wear shoes inside the house, whereas the Canadians, we take them off instantly.
Oh well, the Canadians just
it's because we have snow.
gave me a hard time.
We just have snow.
Yeah.
And so
Rocks,
nobody's like
salt.
Yeah, nobody's coming into your house wearing shoes.
Very true.
Because that's just how it happened.
Well, my shoes were clean, so get off my back, people.
Anyway.
So I'm doing this like booty fucking workout on a couch, and I'm like, booty on a couch, 3 moves to gain your biggest butt, big booty, big dreams. Ooh. Yeah. So it was shitty, but then I started expanding, right? So then I'm like, I'm gonna do a video in my pig costume, and they were like, okay, now you have to do the activewear and the pre-workout and the protein powder. So protein powder, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna put it in my muffins somehow. Even though it didn't taste the best, I try to figure out ways around it to just put it in there. So now I'm altering my content.
Yeah, your message shifted.
Yeah, not only my message, but my creation, my intention behind it. Now literally I'm not doing it.
Your art is being impacted.
My muffins are ruined.
Of all the things that you would
my
ruin,
muffins.
Erin, don't ruin the muffins.
My muffins. It's tragic.
Oh, that
Absolutely
is tragic. That is tragic that you ate subpar muffins.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Some of this stuff was good.
Sure.
But, sure. Yeah. But not all of it. We'll put it that way. Protein muffins.
But that's so that makes me my skin is crawling inside because it's like, wow, this tastes great because I'm sure that's what you had to post.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're not like, well, it's kind of like a 4 and 10.
Yeah.
You're not like, I made these
like
muffins
shit.
a 4 and 10. But buy the protein powder. Yeah, like for sure. So you're essentially you're inflating, right? You're kind of inflating the.
I'd be like, it's optional. Like hint, like don't
optional.
Put it in.
Optional.
Message the people like privately, like don't put it in.
Don't do it. No, don't do it.
Yeah. So now I'm starting to post videos, and it used to just be this was my theme: a picture of me.
Yeah.
Food, picture of me, food, picture of me, food. So I thought it was really cool to look at my profile and be like, muffin Erin. And I made it like all cool and creative.
Yeah, the Instagram, like nice little diamond grid, or so did the 3-in-1,
exactly.
or then every once in a while you have like a big one. Yeah.
Exactly. You just have muffins all like one strip.
Yeah.
Like
Muffins.
It's muffin week.
Yeah.
I used to get really creative and I loved that. And then they were like, Erin, you need to start making workout videos.
Ooh.
And that's when the whole like, squat in front of the camera and the activewear thing came in. And I was like, I'm not much of a camera person. I was like, I'm honestly like a little bit anxious. I don't feel comfortable. And, and they're like, we're going to have to get over that,
We're paying you nothing.
We're paying you nothing. We're sending you protein powder and see-through activewear. So, step your shit up.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, cool. So I put on the activewear.
Yeah.
And I do this video of me like running with my partner at the time had, what's it called? The things that go in the air? Drone.
Oh.
A drone. So we make this epic video where it's like me with like, I'm shaking the drink and I'm drinking it. And I'm like, yeah. I was going to say the brand. I'm not going to say it. And then I'm like, yeah.
It's like a shake weight commercial.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And then the drone flies in the air. So I'm like working out by the water.
Wow.
And the drone is following me. And
so
it's
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And I send it to them and they're like, Erin, we just want you to squat in front of the camera. And I was like, this is beautiful. Yeah. Like, this is so lit. And they're like, no, like people won't relate to that.
It's true.
People won't relate. They won't want to buy stuff from you.
But they're not they're wrong.
They're not wrong. But that's not what I wanted to do.
I get that, but that's so fucking like back to what I was saying earlier. It's like it's crazy that if I spoke from a negative fuel source, meaning if I just like approached my storytelling from the perspective of negativity, aka scale the villain. If I just like take the villain, you're not enough. You should buy my thing. No. 5 ways you could be rich tomorrow. It's like, okay. If I spoke like that more, I would actually make more money. But how do I not do that?
Yeah.
Right? So that's the first moment you notice that fully.
Yeah.
You were kind of noticing it before, but that's when you're like, okay.
That's when you're faced with it. Yeah. That's when you're like embodying it, you're living it, and then you're just
am I
like,
the influencer or am I the person influenced?
Exactly.